Hey guys, welcome to Victory TV with Charlette. I am excited that you're tuning in tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You could have been anywhere else, but you decided to join us here at Victory TV where your story matters. Yes, so we have individuals on this platform to share their victorious stories. They may be an author, an entrepreneur, a person in the community, such as a pastor or a council person, to share with you how they have impacted their lives and then now are impacting other people's lives. So I'm super excited about that. So I just want to share a couple of announcements with you guys. As you guys know, I have another platform called BAM where I take authors and share with them how to expand their business. Well, we have an event coming up in August 15th. It's the Books and Money Networking Brunch, and I'm super excited about it here in Dallas, Texas. So if you want to know more information about that, go to booksandmoney.com, and I'll be sharing that information with you there. You can see everything there. But hey, you got to go and hurry up and register. Seats are limited, and those tickets will the sale will end on July 31st. So make sure you definitely go in and get that. So with that being said, I have a special guest that I want to bring to you guys this evening. Her name is Tina J. Lewis, and you guys, I met her one year and a half ago, and her spirit is just wonderful. She's an author, she's a business owner, she's a nonprofit leader. She just loved the community that she's working with in the Houston, Texas area. And when I say she's doing her thing, she's doing her thing. So I have the pleasure of introducing to you guys Miss Tina J. Lewis.
Well, hello, and thank you, Charlotte, for the invitation and for reaching out to me. I'm super excited to be here, y'all, and just thankful for this journey because I always tell people it's not about the destination, it's the journey. It's all about the journey, what you were placed on this earth to do. So I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Oh, yes. You're welcome. And I want to tell them too. We have some things in common. So I have three boys. You have three boys. That was one of
Yes.
the things that we were talking about. And so, how are they?
They are doing amazing. I was just on the phone with one of them earlier today, right before the show. They're doing all good. I'm super proud of all three of them.
Most definitely, because you guys, as entrepreneurs and people in business, we still have family. We still have
Yeah.
other things that we take care of, and so again, that was one of the things that we connected on. My boys are still young and hers are adults, but we still was able to connect. And hey, I got someone to call answers
Absolutely.
because just told her I find myself praying more now that they didn't hit the adult life.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so enough with them babies. We're gonna just go hop right in it. You are again an author. You have a story, again a journey that you went on,
Hmm.
and you decided to write about it,
Yes.
your story and share your story. Tell the people your story, and well, not the whole story. You got to get the book right, but
Yes.
just tell them your journey and why you doing what you do now.
Okay. Yes. I wrote my story, and my book is entitled Total Deliverance, a Survivor Story. I wrote about how I got myself involved in first it was a relationship that ultimately turned into a marriage. And I'm very transparent in the book. I talk about the things that I allowed. I can't blame anybody else but myself because I allowed it. This was not my first time dealing with domestic violence. I dealt with it in my early 20s. So it wasn't new for me. So when I was seeing the red flags, I just ignored them. And I say that in at the beginning of my book, I ignored so many red flags before I even allowed him to actually get into really into deep in the relationship. I been by myself for almost 14 years. And I guess, when you're being lonely, and I guess I can admit it now, being desperate, just wanted to be in a relationship again and got comfortable with it and just ignored everything about it. So I tell the story of how we met, how things, the first hit, the first everything. And then I tell people now, when somebody show you who they are, you better believe that is who they are. So that's the story is deep. I just tell the whole story, how in the midst of what I was going through, how God was always there with me. He was always protecting me. Even in the times when I didn't think he was there. He covered me. He just allowed me to go through what I had to go through. And I can look back now and say that I had to go through what I went through to be able to be transparent and to be, vulnerable in it all, so I can be able to help somebody else that's going through it, or they maybe just get into a relationship and they see the red flags. Pay attention. Pay attention to everything that does. I always say, if it does not feel right in your spirit, that's discernment where God is leading you. That's a no. That's not what I where I want to. So the story is deep. I had a good friend of mine that read the book before I even got it published. She read my proof and she gave me this disclaimer. She said, just tell everybody that love you. They're gonna cry for you. Then they're gonna get mad at you. And then they're gonna understand at the end why you did what you did. So
Right, right.
yes.
Yes, the process, the journey.
It's the journey.
The
Absolutely.
journey, the journey. So I know you really talked about you really just talked about hinted on the red flags.
Yes.
A lot of us, especially like you said, when you're younger,
Mhm.
or the red flags. Why do you think that is?
Why do I think it is? Because sometimes we just overlook. We just sometimes it's the individual too, because when you're in those type of relationships, they're very manipulative. They
Mhm,
have it's just a lot of things. They get you comfortable, they bait you in, they
mhm,
do a whole lot of things at the beginning of the relationship. And here's another thing, this is something that I've learned. When you get in a relationship and he want to know everything about you tell him everything up front. That's
mhm,
a no. You
mhm,
don't tell a person everything about what you've gone through, because they use it against you to rear you into that relationship. So,
mhm,
and then they tell you everything, want to know everything about you, but they don't say anything about what they've done.
mhm.
Eventually, you'll probably find out, but that's a red flag right there. It's okay to have a conversation, but you can't give up all the information on the first date, because
Right.
they'll use it.
Yeah. I think that's like pretty much key because
Yeah.
you don't know that's what's happening, but
That's what
that's
they're doing.
happening. They not even they are being a representative.
There you
They
go.
are being who you want them to be. And then bam, you feel like you've been swing, what's the word? I can't hoodwink.
Yeah,
You just
bamboozled or what, all that
bamboozled.
stuff, girl. Like what? So
Yeah.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
and that's tough. That's tough because you're having feelings and loving this
yes.
person, and
Hmm.
they are just want to use. But you know what? They've been through hurt,
That's
trauma, and things
that's
like
true.
that, and they are taking it out on you. But not
Hmm.
some intentionally, some not.
Right.
Yeah,
That's so true. That is so
yeah.
so true.
So I
Yes.
want to talk about now. What are you doing as far as giving back to the women and sharing with them not only your journey through authorship, but what else
Hmm.
are you doing?
Well, I've actually just started my nonprofit, and it's called For Love Alone. How did I come with the name For Love Alone? I used to, years ago, I know it was about 11, 12 years ago, I had a blog that I called For Love Alone. And in the process, I always thought about doing a nonprofit, but I always supported other people and what they were doing. And y'all, COVID-19 set a girl down because I had COVID. And
Mm,
it's like when I came out, God was like, okay, this is what I need you to do. You still gonna support, but you gotta work something I gave you to do. So when I was coming up with the name, and I was talking to my niece, and she was like, "Well, Aunt Tina, why don't you call it For Love Alone?" And I was like, "I don't want to call it that." And Charlette, I was laying in the bed one night, and it's just like God put it back in my spirit. I already gave you the name. I already gave you what you need to do. Go ahead and get it started. It's for love alone that we do so much. We love so much. We give
Mm.
so much. We forget so much. We allow ourselves to get in these situations, and it's going to be that same thing for love alone that's going to bring us out. So I'm excited about For Love Alone. It's all about advocating for women. I'm in the process of I'm taking classes now that I'm at the end of the year I would be a certified domestic violence advocate. So I am going to be training uh women, men too, to be advocates, not just, for the women and men, being advocates in the courtroom, wherever we need to be, being advocate for the ones that have succumbed to domestic violence, being with their families, scholarships, everything that God has placed on my heart to do. I'm committed to get out in the community to do it. So I'm excited about For Love Alone. And of course, I'm still going to be writing books. I still got some books in me. One of them is definitely going to be a children's book because being reared in that type of environment when I was coming up, it's just like it's a cycle. And when you're a child, you think it's your fault. So that book is going to be deep. It's going to be a little short book, and I want to bring the characters in so to the kids. And I'm thinking, maybe making it like a series for the smaller kids all the way up to like the teenager. It's not your fault. It's okay to cry. Something to that aspect. And just like writing books and other material that God has put in my spirit to do that I want to get out to the community. So it's so much work to do, and there's those saying that time is far spent, and each day that God gives me, I know I have to be about doing what He has for me to do.
Awesome. I'm thankful for you.
Thank you.
The journey of the process of coming up with that and everything. You had the blog.
Yes,
You just use a writer. You write
I've
all the time.
been writing forever. Sometimes we
Mhm,
can't see what God has given us. Oh my
mhm,
gosh, I've been right. I have poetry that I've written. I need to put together. I have things in my head right now that I just need to sit down and write because I know it's going to help somebody. I wrote
mhm,
a poem years and years ago, and this was inspired me for the book. And the poem was called Little Eyes. And I really believe that's going to be the name of the children's book. It's called Little Eyes because
mhm.
their eyes, they're looking at you, they're watching what you do, then they reenact what you do as they grow, and you can't understand why is he abusing her, but he
Mhm,
watched you do it.
mhm.
So it's gonna be deep. So I'm a deep thinker. I'll be thinking about things, and I'll be like, okay, but you got to be about it. So
Yeah, yes, and write it down.
write
Write
it down.
it down. Yes.
Exactly.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, moving along. I want to talk about like your advice that you would share to another female that could be in a domestic situation right now, but
Hmm.
she loves him. She have kids by
Yeah.
him. She know he's gonna do it again. She could be
Yes.
fearful of her life right now,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
she's staying.
She's
And
staying.
you know well enough probably why or her thought
Yeah.
process. What would you say to her?
Whew. Okay.
Who's
I'm
watching?
talking to
She's
myself.
watching right now.
Right now, this I'm
Yes.
talking to myself and I'm talking to you because I had to do this self-talk to me. And I'm going to suggest that you do it for yourself because you got to come to a point in your life where you just know enough is enough. You got to ultimately choose you. You got to choose you. You got to recognize your worth. I know it's hard. You can't see it because, first of all, he's telling you who you are. He's already controlled you. He's already manipulating you. He's telling you that nobody wants you. Your family don't want to have anything to do with you. Don't believe it because it's all a lie. You got to dig deep in you. You got to find your why. Your why has to be so big that it's going to make you cry because it's going to make you get the fuel that you need, and you're going to count on you and furthermore you need to tell somebody. Don't keep this inside. Find somebody that you can be confident in, that you can share your story, that they can know what's going on with you. Even when you're talking on the phone, there could be a sign, hey, I need some help, I need whatever. Find you a plan of escape. I hid a bag in the closet, then I got scared and took the bag out. Find somewhere to put your personal belongings for what you need for you and your kids, and find a way of escape. And you got to do it in a safe way. Don't just get up and listen to people, and stop listening to what people tell you. Girl, if I was you, I'd just leave. They don't understand why you're there. I don't know what your reason was. I was afraid. I was terrified of him. I was afraid of the threats and things that he said he was going to do to my children. So I stayed. But I had to get to the point when I saw my 30 something year old son cry, Mama, what are they going to do what are we going to do when he kills you? I knew right then and there I had to start making my way out. I don't know how old your children are. I don't know. But you have to do it for them. First of all, you got to do it for you first. Because I always give this scenario about being on the plane. You cannot, the stewardess, what she's going to tell you to put that mask on you first. So you got to take care of yourself to get yourself in the right mental state. Go seek some help through their shelters. There's all kind of resources within the community that can help you do things in a safe way. But you got to find that tenacity within you. I always give the example of a palm tree. You got to have that palm tree tenacity. Oh, okay, you trying to break me? Oh, no, 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 no. I may bend, but I'm not going to break. Deep side, inside, you are rooted and you are grounded. You're not going to break because the God that you serve is not going to allow you to break. And you just depend. I had a prayer journal. I would write my prayers. And even in the times when he didn't want me to write, I remember one time I have journals, it's going to be a book. I found a journal what he wrote in where he said to God that I made her so angry that day. I had to write for her. So you have to find your way of escape. You got to find it. I found it through journaling. I found it through music. I even found it in the silence when he was saying things to me and when he would tell me just shut up and be quiet. In those silent times, that's when God is doing his work. He is doing his work. I always say the teacher is always silent during the test. So even though you think he's not there, he's there. But you got to communicate with the Lord. You got to let him guide you and do it in the right way so that when you do leave, you can leave safely. And it's okay not to be okay. I say this all the time now. Don't listen to what people are saying if they're not uplifting you because they don't understand your situation. They don't understand. I was listening the other day, I heard somebody say, why don't they just leave? I didn't say anything. I was like to myself, Father, they don't understand. People always say what they won't do. But you see, the God that I serve, he'll put you in a situation just to show you what you won't do. He'll do it. So when you're around people like that, just find you some people that are uplifting, that understand. They're not going to try to put your life in jeopardy, telling you just to get up and leave. Because the most crucial time for a woman to lose her life is when she steps out of a domestic, a toxic relationship, because he's lost his control and he's looking for you. And if he can't get you, he's going to get somebody close to you.
Mm-hmm. I hope you guys heard that from Miss Tina J. Lewis, a person who not only experienced it, but she's also, you guys giving back to the community. I got a question for you because I'm all
Yes.
about expanding businesses, right? Do you have a group or something for people to come to that have been in a domestic violence situation, like a community or something?
I haven't created it yet. That's all on the works to happen.
I
So, but
see.
we
I
definitely,
see it. I see it. I see
but
it. Like it's a need, and
it's
it's
a
like they
need.
need that community.
Yes, but I do have a group about the soul ties. It just may
Okay.
be a soul ties, but you gotta. That group is out there, and you can
Oh, talk
join
to
the
us
group.
about it. Talk to us about
Yeah,
the soul ties
it
group.
just may be a soul tie because the reason I started soul ties, I actually had gotten me a coach last year, and we were talking about some things. He said, "What it sound like a soul tie?" So I did the research. If you don't understand what a soul tie is, so a soul tie is a connection. It's a spiritual connection. It could be a godly soul tie or it could be an ungodly soul tie. So when we get ourselves tangled into these ungodly soul ties, like what I did in my toxic relationship, I was bound to it. I had to break it. I had to cut that soul tie. So the group is where I encourage. I do soul tie Saturdays. I did do it yesterday because I was under the weather. I do it every Saturday at 5 o'clock, and I talk about soul ties. And like I say, they're not all bad. The ultimate soul tie that God intends for a man and woman to have is in that marital realm. When the two come to one, the two spirits, the two souls, they connect. And the spirits, they tie to each other. They just like he said it's supposed to be. But when we go out there and we have all these relationships, I've been with this person, I've been with this person, and I got all these things going on in me that's warring within me, and then I can't figure out why I can't love again, why I can't do this, because I'm still tied to this person that I was with 20 years ago. I never released the relationship. I brought this all onto my next relationship. So soul ties are deep. You either can cut them or you can tie them, because when you cut it, that's a spiritual cut. These people in your life, they don't mean you no good. They don't want to see you further. They just want to drain you and harm your spirit. Now, when it's a tie, you see a value in a person. You see that, hey, I see value in you, but right now we're not connecting right now. So maybe we need to go our separate ways and we can come back. So a soul tie can be, like I say, in an intimate relationship. It can be in a friendship relationship, business relationship, any type of relationship where you have a spiritual connection with a person on that type of level. And we do every day with everybody if you really want to be truthful about it. Because even when the infant comes into the world, there's a connection between the parents. Either they're both going to be in their life and they're going to nurture that baby, or one parent is going to be missing, or they're both going to be missing, and that infantile child is not getting what they're needing from that spiritual connection from the parents. So what do they do throughout their lives? They go through searching. They're broken. They're not loved. They don't know how to love. So soul ties are really deep. So that's one group that is definitely out there. And I am working on the one for the community, for the advocacy, just for information, resources, and whatever needs to be found, because there's resources all over. And the main number for the domestic violence is 1-800-799-SAFE. I think it's 1-800-799-7233. You can call that number. You don't have to say who you are. Those people are trained. They can get you to the community resources that you need wherever you are in the United States. So keep that number and call. They can give you advice.
Awesome. You guys heard it. You guys heard it from Miss Tina J. Lewis. She's a advocate for domestic violence, and as you can see, for soul ties as well. Just
Yeah.
for women.
Yeah.
Women that are, looking for a transformation in their life, or a victorious
Yes.
transformation in their lives. You don't have to stay in it. You have a
No, you
person sitting
don't.
right here, actually two people in front of you right now that have made it out of a domestic
Yes.
violence situation. And so it is possible for you too,
Hmm.
even with the kids,
Amen.
yeah, you want to stay for the kids. Hey, I understand. But hey,
Yes.
sometimes you have to go if it's really, really toxic for you, because it's
That's
not
it.
going to get any better. It's not going to get any
Exactly.
better. And so,
Exactly.
how can everyone keep in touch with you?
Okay, well, I am on social media. My main page is Tina J. Lewis. I do have my author's page, which is the same. Teen Author is actually author Tina J. Lewis on Facebook, and the same on actually I've changed the name on Instagram. It's my Instagram page is For Love Alone. And then where else? I am on Twitter for Love Alone as well. And if you want to get the book is on Amazon. It's in an ebook. It's downloadable, but I do have the hard copies. You can reach out to me on Facebook for the book. Either on Tina J. Lewis, you can message me, or under my author's page on Author Tina J. Lewis. I did have a website, but I brought it down because I'm trying to coincide everything into one place to make everything just be in one spot. So
Makes sense.
um but that's pretty much where I am. So anybody that's on this live today, I got 10 books. I didn't even tell you, Charlotte, I'm gonna do this.
Mm,
So whoever message you or whatever, the first 10, let me know who they are, get their address, and I will send the book out to them, because I just want to empower somebody to read my story, because my story was for domestic violence, and I get a lot of feedback from people that say, hey, I got you, I got it, but whatever, it's just a story of deliverance. It's a story of hope and having patience and just trusting God. So even though my story was for domestic violence, but I don't know what you're going through. It's just a story of hope. So 10 people can get the book. I will send the book out, signed, autographed, my name with a little inspiration on it. So just get the information to Charlotte, and I will get it out to you as soon as possible.
Yay! We getting a victory over here.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
thank you. Thank you. I
You're so
appreciate
welcome.
that for you guys that are tuning in. I want you to know that it may not even be for you, but you may know someone. So even
Yes.
share this live because again, nobody knew what I was going through, but my
Me
kids
either.
was acting it out at 3 and 5 years old, and my mom
Yes.
asked, "Why are they choking each other?" Oh, I'm doing
Wow.
such and such and such and such. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Mm.
you may not know, but if you, especially if you have kids, somebody's watching. You may not know
Yes.
your friend is going through it or whatever the case may be, but someone may need to hear this. So please share, and then contact me on Victory TV page or Charlotte White page, and contact Tina J Lewis
Hmm.
on her page. DM us, and one of us will be able to get the information to you guys. So
Yes.
yes, I'm glad you said yes and coming on and sharing your
Yes.
story.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. I
Yes,
do.
yes, thank you, thank you.
You're
Everyone's
welcome.
story matters. We all have a story,
Yes, we
and your
do.
story matters. So you was brave enough. You had the courage enough to share and not be ashamed. And that's
Nah,
the boldness and the authority that we have living a
that's it.
God-filled life. Someone
That's
told me
it.
yesterday, there's no greater power than the Holy Ghost. I said,
Th-
what you talking
There
about?
you go.
He said, there's no greater power on earth than the
That's
power
right.
of the Holy Ghost.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so, hey, you guys, I'm feeling, look, I'm feeling it. This just makes me happy when, um, people you share, and you had the courage to have the victory in your
Yes.
life, and you sharing, not caring what nobody else say. I'm pretty sure you was talked about and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
She thinks she is. She let them
And
do
probably
this.
still is.
Yeah, but you're
It's
moving
okay.
forward and helping and
It's
sharing,
okay.
and that's what it's all about. So
Yes, that's what I say
yes,
too, Charlotte.
so I'm excited for that. I am excited, and so
Yes.
thank you
You're
again.
welcome.
And yes, and thank you guys for tuning in again. Share this broadcast, and we will be back here on next Monday. No, Sunday. I'm sorry, next Sunday. Sunday night with a person. She's going to be sharing with us about credit repair. Woo! Yes,
Woo.
credit repair and business credit as well, you guys. So
Okay.
next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So come back and join us. We'll be here. All right, you guys
All
have a good
right.
night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.